Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle, or the Exploracle for short. If you're new here, what I do on this channel is I show you a deck from my personal collection, show you all of the cards, and talk about it. So today we'll be taking a look at this deck. This is the Tarot Emblemata Chromata by Urania Press. And this is an indie deck, but I believe they were picked up by a publisher, so they're going mass market. So if you're interested in this, it would become more accessible to purchase it and it would be easier to purchase. In my case, I did get this secondhand, so I got a really good price for it. It was a deck that I was interested in because of how it looked, but I never really purchased it at full price because at the time that I found it, I wasn't really that into tarot anymore, and I didn't really want to spend more than needed basically. But when I saw it being offered secondhand, it was practically unused, so it's a pristine copy, so I bit the bullet. Anyway, it says here on the back, sorry, hold on, I cannot read. Okay, so oh my gosh, my lighting is so bad that I cannot read it. Oops, hold on. Okay, so it says here, Renaissance woodcut illustrations from the 16th century French emblem book, Devices Heroiques by Claude Paradin, digitally remastered, colorized, envisioned and designed by Natasha Rowland of Urania Press, curated to align with the arcana of traditional tarot symbolism and archetypes. So Emblemata Chromata brings rich hues to the black and white emblems, and there are many plumes, helmets, swords, gemstone rings, clouds, wreaths, flowers, animals, trees, and Renaissance courtly and country folk, taking the emblemata to a whole new level. The 78 tarot cards plus the additional 10 oracles and the corresponding Latin what? Mottos? Oh my god. Represent the evolution of emblem design through history and their magical, transcendent, and universal power taking new form. Now guys, I'm sorry because I do have really bad eyes, so that was so difficult for me to read because it's black on blue background. But anyway, that is done, and that is what this deck is about. So this is what the box looks like, but first let's take a look at the guidebook. Alright, so this is the companion guidebook. When I purchased, or if you would purchase this indie, this would be a separate purchase, but I'm not sure with the mass market version if they would already include this guidebook. And it's a pretty sizable one. There's quite a lot of information here, so hopefully if you would be purchasing it, it would come with the guidebook already. So you have here a preface, an introduction, Claude Paradin, so I guess where the art came from, Renaissance emblems, how to consecrate your deck, brief meanings of the suits, pips, and court cards, and then the interpretations for the major and minor arcana. Then you have the oracle cards, traditional tarot spreads about the author, and other publication from Urania Press. So the information or the introduction doesn't take a lot. Most of it is already dedicated to the actual card and the meaning and the cards. So later on, after the flip through, I will be choosing a card and we'll read through this. There's a lot. I don't know if I'll read through it or I'll just show you the page and you can pause. But let's see. So you also have a full size, I believe it's a full size image on the left side, but it isn't colored. Now I do think there were several versions of this deck, and this is the colored version, but there were previous versions that were black and white. Oh, yeah. All right, so let's open this up. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a regular tuck box, and King of Pentacles. Okay. So it is a thick deck. Oh, sorry. You have here the little guidebook. There are 10 oracle cards, and then this is the 78 cards of tarot, which is thick and a little difficult for me because I do have small hands. For oracle decks that are within a tarot deck, I normally don't include them for my readings. So I would just read them on their own or maybe as a clarifier, but it's not integrated into my deck. Just a preference, but of course, you could do whatever you want with how you read your deck. If you don't purchase the other full-size guidebook, you do have this little white book that shows you some basic interpretations. So yeah, mostly just like keywords about tarot meanings. So I think there's really a lot more information in the guidebook, the separate guidebook. But what I would do later would probably just to read from the little white book, and I'll show you the page from the full size. All right. So, oh yeah, sorry. I feel like I haven't done these videos in a long time that I forget how to do them. But these are the backs. They are reversible for those who like to read reversals. The cardstock, it feels kind of cardboardy, but flexible cardboardy type. It's not particularly a favorite. I don't really know whether it would hold up well. I do have a lot of decks, so I don't use them enough for me to really wear them out. And if you would see, it does hold a bow or a bend. So be careful when you shuffle this, especially for me, since it's a thick deck. A tendency is if I force shuffle it, it might get bent. So just take note of that. Yeah, it's not gilded. It is smooth, but because of the thickness, it does get a little bit difficult for me to handle when I shuffle the deck. All right. Okay, so let's go through the flip through. So it is borderless, and you do have the name of the card. It is numbered. You also have here a Latin phrase and a translated version of that phrase. As always, feel free to slow down, speed up, or pause if you want to take a closer look at the cards. But as you can see, it is minimal. There's minimal art, and it is based on the emblems or the art from the Renaissance period from the book by Claude. But I do enjoy looking at it, and if it's in a spread, it's, I don't know, there's something about it. I don't pull this a lot, but there, I don't know, I think that when I want a serious reading, this is something that I would want to use. But yeah, what do you think of the art? Do you like it? Or is it too minimal for you? Or do you prefer other symbology? Because it doesn't have the typical symbols that we see in an RWS. Well, some you have here the crab, but yeah, it's quite different. But I don't know, as a collector, I do enjoy that it's a different style and it's a different take and a different approach to the decks that I usually have. Moving on here to the wand suit, here the ace, the 2, 3 of wands, 4 of wands, 5 of wands, 6 of wands, 7 of wands. It's the 8, 9, oops, 10 of wands. It does feel a little pippish at times. Not even pippish, just really minimal. Page, Knight, Queen of Wands, and the King. Then moving on to the Cups. Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, 4, 5 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 7 of Cups, oops, oh, 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups. And you have the 10, the Page, Knight, Queen, and King. Moving on to the Swords. Two of Swords, Three of Swords, Four of Swords, 5 of Swords, 6, 7, 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords. You have here the 10, Page, Knight, Queen, and King. And then lastly, you have the Pentacles. You have your Ace, 2 of Pentacles, 3, 4, 5 Pentacles, 6, 7 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 10. Here the Page, Knight, Queen, and the King. And then you have the Oracle cards. Good Company, Sovereignty, Ancestors, Chimera, Regeneration, Daemon, Malefic, Benefic, Libations. The keywords are really unique. Interwoven, and Caduceus. Okay, but like I said, normally I do not include these oracle decks or oracle cards in a tarot. Okay, so just so you will see how this shuffles. So it is still a little bit stiff because it was barely used by the previous owner, and I also don't use it as much. But here you can see, right, it is forming a bow, so I don't particularly like that. The cardstock of this is not something, it's not really a favorite of mine, but it is usable, don't get me wrong. So for the overhand though, I do like it because it slips and it doesn't clump, so it's very easy to overhand, even though it is a thicker deck. It's something that I can handle. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so no jumpers. Let me just choose a card. Okay, so we will be reading for the Empress. Okay, so in the little white book, it says, for the Empress, absorbed in your passions and creative pursuits, giving your talents an outlet and a voice. Delight in the senses, pleasure, receptive, fertile, feminine, luxuriating, fulfillment, embodied, nurturing, abundant, Venusian sensuality, Mother Goddess archetype, caretaker, community, harmony, body grounding. The inverted Empress, needing self-care, rejecting pleasure or joy, block creativity, unfulfilled, repression, vain, not grounded, focus on your body, stability, and feminine side, lacking compassion. So, just keywords in the little white book. But if you purchase the full-size guidebook, it has all of this. Now, I'm gonna make sure that it is clear. Oops. So please feel free to pause and read. But this is the entry for the Empress in the separate guidebook. And I do like working with guidebooks like this, thicker guidebooks. Lately, I haven't really had time, but I started tarot, or I enjoyed tarot because I do want to learn more about myself, and reading things about additional information about things in general is something that I enjoy. But here's one more look at the art. I'll do it in 3 piles so you can get an idea of what I mean. When it's in a spread, 3-card spread is my most common spread, and it looks really nice. I think it would also pair well with other cards. So, I forgot to read. I forgot to read the Latin and the translation and the actual card. But yeah, forgive me for that. I'm still getting back into the flow of these videos. And yeah, I'm still adjusting again. But anyway, that has been the flip through of the Tarot Emblemata Chromata. I hope you found this video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel. See you again next time. Bye!